Hi everyone and welcome back to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this version of a granny square which I've called Rubies, and I've been working on it and this was my first one. I didn't really like the way it turned out. It was just a little bit too holy, and so I've changed it a bit. So I've kind of now decided that I quite like it as it is. So for this tutorial I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. You need a pair of scissors and a darning needle because there will be ends to sew in. I've managed to work some of them in and cut them off, but these are the ones that would have to be sewn in afterwards. So for this I'm going to use a selection of pinks and reds. That's why I've called it Rubies. And I've got they're just DK weight, any will do. I've got some here from a store in the UK called Poundland, and these ones I got from Hobbycraft, but they are all DK weight. And this one's going to be my main colour. So for the start I'm going to use the pale colour as you see here, and we're going to make this little part right there. So now this, sorry, just not the camera. This is part of the season of the granny, and so it's one of my little granny squares that I'm going to be doing along this month. So I hope you like it. Anyway, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and you'll be informed when there are new videos. So that out the way, how we start this is to make a slip knot. You can do that any way you like. Just once you've got your slip knot, you'll need 4 chain. So I'm going to presume you know how to do chain, and we're going to join into a ring by slip stitching into this very first chain. If you want to familiarise yourself with all of these stitches, I do have tutorials for them. So now we've got our little minute ring. It does actually grow a little bit bigger once you start working into it. So I'm going to chain 2 to get me to the height of a UK treble crochet, which is a double crochet in the US. So I'm going to refer to it as a treble crochet, but please remember that's a double crochet in the US. So into this ring I'm going to do 3 treble crochets, so that will be a total of 4, including those 2 chain that I've just done. So now that's my 3rd one. So with my 2 chain, that's 4, and I'm going to chain 1 and do another 4. Now it will get a little bit tight, I would say, or snug in that little ring, but that's fine, that's how I want it. So now I've got, this is my 4th one, 1 more chain. Now if you want to, you can pull them along slightly, so you see the hole has got bigger already, and I'm working over my tail as I go on this one. So I'm doing 4 more. One chain and another 4. So with this particular square I'm going to end off each round, not change colour, but just end off. So didn't go through my last chain, and I'm going to slip stitch now into the top of my first 2 chains. So I've got, just end off my yarn, and I'm going to end off by doing a chain, pulling it down and pulling the yarn through. So you can't readily see it, but this is actually a square already. So now I'm going to attach my, I'm going to get rid of this yarn first. I want it to get into a tangle, so I'm just going to get this out of the way and put it over onto the one side. We don't need that colour anymore. And I'm going to get this colour, and for this one we just attach it to any corner. So I don't like all my tails in the same place, so I'm going to attach it over here. So you can attach it however you want to, but I'm going to do it by putting my yarn through and then just using the tail and the working yarn to make one chain. So now in each corner we're going to do one double crochet, which is a UK term, it's a single crochet in the US, and 2 chain, and then another double crochet UK terms. So now to get over to this side we're going to do 3 chain. Move that yarn out of the way so it doesn't get confusing. And in this corner again, 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet. So I'm going to refer to them as UK terms all through this video, so just remember it's a single crochet in the US. So that's 3 more chain over to this one and repeat in our corner, and the 3 chain along the side, repeat in, and move that to the back, repeat in the corner, ending with 3 chain, and we'll slip stitch into the first stitch over here. And now that does look a little bit, I'm just going to cut this yarn, you can see it more clearly. That does look a little tight, but it doesn't matter, it will work its way looser as we're working with it, so don't worry if that looks tight, but you'll have something that looks like this now. Okay, so here's my square. The first colour I chose to, well, the second colour I chose to work with is this one. So I just need to stretch and move this one out of the way. I'll just put it over here because I will use it again in a minute. And we're going to attach this colour. Now we always attach at the corner. Well, whatever row we're doing, we attach at a corner. So it will be a different corner to where our yarn end is. And I'm going to attach it exactly the same way as before. You do get quite a lot of ends with any granny square where you're changing colour, unfortunately, but we just have to try not to let them confuse us. Right, so with this one we will do 2 chain, and now our corner will always be the same on these treble crochet rounds. So with this will count as our first, so we're going to do 2 more, and 2 chain and 3 treble crochet in the same space, all in that corner space. Now this row will look a little bunched up, I noticed it on my previous one, because this Hobbycraft yarn is slightly thicker than the Poundland yarn. Now after we've done our corner we'll do 1 chain, and in our side we're going to do 4 treble crochet, not 3 but 4. I made the first one doing 3 and I didn't like it, so we chain 1 again, and then we'll do our corner exactly the same way, which is our 3, 2 chain, and then a further 3, and that is our repeat all the way to the end. So when I've got 3 at the corners, 3, 2 chain and 3, always a chain in between, and then 4 in our sides. So I'm going to pause the video and I want you to do the 3, 2 chain, 3 in the corners and 4 in the sides with a chain in between, and I'll pick up again with you when I get round to this side. Alright, so I'm almost back at the start, so I've got another one to do, 1 chain, and then slip stitch into the top of our first 2 chains, end that colour exactly the same way as before. And so this is now what it looks like. And as I said, this particular yarn is a little bit thicker than the other, although that's not quite as bad this time. So I'm just stretched to get my yarn when I've dropped it on the floor. Well, it's actually dropped into a basket, but so it doesn't get dirty. So now we're going to attach our main colour again to a corner. So move the scissors out of the way. Sorry, I'm just going to get a drink because I'm a bit thirsty. That's better. So I'm going to attach at a corner, a different one from this one. And wherever possible, I'm working over the tails, just so that there's not so many at the end. And I'll do it exactly the same way as before, by just using the tail and the working yarn to go over it. And again, we're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet. Remember, that's the UK term. And we're going to do 3 chain, and then in between our sides in each gap 1 double crochet, and then 3 chain. So we're just repeating this row, but where this one was just corners, in our sides we just go along and do 1. So we do 3 chain, and now we're back to the corner. So it's, our corner is the same as before. 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet. And we do 3, and we go into this one, and we're going to repeat that all the way around, doing 1 in our sides in between our little clusters, and our corner exactly the same as before. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll catch up with you when I get to this point. So I've made it all the way around, and I'm just going to slip stitch into this first double crochet and end that colour exactly the same way as before. And again, now we're going to attach our next colour, which is this one, this rosy pink. Just put this one away properly. I'm going to attach that in the same way at one of the corners. And I'm going to repeat, if I can find the end of this yarn, I will do that. There it is. Attach it at the corner in exactly the same way as before. Any corner, doesn't matter, as long as it's not the one with its tail. You can do it, but I don't like to have too many tails to get rid of at the same place. So we're going to chain 2 and complete our corner with 2 more treble crochets, 2 chain, and then 3. So our corner is exactly the same as the pink row beneath. 1 chain, and then in each of our holes along, and I'm going to work over this tail, we're going to do 4. It's resting on the yarn, so it's getting a bit tight there. So we're going to do 4. One chain, 4 into the next one. Excuse me. One chain, 4 into the next one. One chain, and now working over this tail, I'm going to do my corner exactly the same as before, with 3, 2 chain, and another 3. and we're going to repeat that all the way around until we get to the start. Remember to do one chain in between them all, and then you'll have another row like this one, but obviously each time around you get more sides. It grows a little bit faster on the sides than the traditional granny square, because that would only increase by 1, but this increases by 2 each time. So I'm going to pause it and I'll pick up with you when we get back to the start. Okay, so I've got all the way around, and I'm just going to slip stitch into this chain here, the top of our first 2 chain, end off the same way we have been. Pull that down, cinch it. Okay, so now you can, if you was making your square as big as mine, you see how I've gone lighter and then slightly darker all the way out. So I'm going to do the same with this next one, but if this was your last rows, you didn't want it to be much bigger than this, then by all means just skip to the end part and I'll show you how to do this bit. But I'm going to do one more row. I'm going to choose the darker colour because I think they look really nice with all of the colours in. So again, we're going to attach. I've got to get it, excuse me. Here we are. So we're going to attach our darker colour to a corner, regardless of whether this is your last row or last colour or not. You still have to do this part. I'm going to pause the video because I feel a sneeze, and I'm a pretty loud sneezer, so I don't want to blast you. Sorry about that. I'm back. All sneezed out. So attach the yarn exactly the same way as we have been all the way through, and do our corner same way as before. Incidentally, if this is your last round, then this part is slightly different. So instead of doing this row, you might want to forward it until the actual last row that I'm going to do, because that is slightly different. So this is obviously just an in-between row for me, so I'm going to carry on exactly the same way as we have been all the way through, by doing my corner and my 3 chains in between. And I'm going to obviously just work my way around, pause the video, and I will pick up with you once we get back to here, because I think you know how to do that by now. Okay, so all the way up to the end, I'm going to slip stitch in to my first double crochet, end off that colour, and I'm going to do my last colour row, which is this lovely dark red. I absolutely fell in love with this colour. They didn't have very much in, but I might, if I wasn't on a self-imposed yarn ban, I might go back and try to find some more. Maybe once I've done a bit of stash busting, perhaps I will. So I'm going to join at the corner as usual in the same way we have been, and going to do this last colour round exactly the same as all of these rounds have been, with the 3 in the corners and the 4 on the sides. So I'm just going to do one more round with the colour, and I will show you, I will show you how I do the last round, or rounds should I say. Whoops, trying to work over that end and it's getting in the way. Okay, so 1 chain and do the 4 in the sides, the normal corner. I'm going to pause the video because you've seen these rows, and I will meet up with you when I get back to the start, and I will show you how we end off. Okay, so I've made it all the way around. I just need to do my slip stitch to join it, end that colour as we have been, and now these are the final 2 rounds. I'll just move this red colour out of the way. Put it away. And pick up our darker yarn. Now this row is a little bit different from the way that we've done them. It's not very much different, but it is just a little bit, and there's a reason, because we need to make our corners a bit more defined. So we're going to join at a corner exactly the same way as before. And can't see. That's it. And we're going to do 3 chain and another double crochet. In fact, I don't think I did a double crochet. I was so worried about showing you. I'll do that again. No editing out for me. There we go. Yarn keeps going in the way. So 1, 3 chain and another one, and our 3 chain exactly the same as we've done it all the way around so far. So this is not a great deal of difference, but the difference is in the corner. The rest is the same. Move that out of the way. Don't want it to get in the way and confuse us. And the corner is 1 double crochet. Remember, that's a UK term and it's a single in the US. 3 chain and then another one. And then we just keep going all the way around, just like we have been, but we're doing 3 chain in our corners now. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to work my way around, and I shall meet up with you when we get to this point here. Okay, so I'm all the way back at the start, and I'm going to slip stitch into our corner, same way as before. Now I'm going to chain 1, and in the corner I'm going to do 3 double crochets. That's UK ones. Now in these openings all the way along, I'm going to do 4. I'm not going to go into here, just 4 in each. All the way along. Remember, that's a single crochet US and a double crochet in the UK. Just do that in every one all the way along, just 4. Until we get to the corner. Hang on, I'm going to go over that tail, getting caught up. And then 3 in the corner to turn. And that's our repeat. 3 in the corners, 4 in all the sides. And so I'm going to pause the video and I'll meet up with you when I get back to the start here. But just remember, there's 4 in each of these spaces and 3 in the corner. Okay, so I've made it all the way round, and all that I've got to do now is slip stitch into there and end off, and then sew in all those ends and cut off the ones that I've managed to work over. So you can block this if you want to, but I think they are quite flat and square, but you can sew them together like that, and I hope you like that tutorial. So that's the Rubies square for Season of the Granny. And thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'll see you all again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.